Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2 and Instagram. I tell you guys I would try to give you guys at least one live Friday. So tonight we're going to work on a night show with martial arts, as I said on my YouTube, which is currently recording as well. We're going to use this little bow staff. It's black, so it's going to be difficult. And we're going to use this giant bow staff. I know Instagram can see it better than TikTok, YouTube, excuse me. So, yeah, here we go. Also going to use some chain work. And if possible, we're going to play with the blindfold again. And then we're going to finish it like I always finish it with freaking bound fighting. So I'll take the gloves off, I'll wrap my hands, and then I'll do some shit that you've seen before. Alright, so first and foremost, let me give you guys the importance of long-range weapons. Alright, so I know you guys on YouTube can't see it, but this thing is pretty long. I'm pretty sure on Instagram you can't see it either. But the importance of a long-range weapon is just that. It's long range. This gives you a jump rope. Yeah. Now you know why it's not a jump rope. Yes, that hurts like shit. Ow. Let's try it one more time. Ow. Okay, too long. Now you understand the thing about long-range weapons. Ow. They hurt at a distance. So to maintain your weapon, you have to understand your weapon. This is a plastic chain. It still hurts like shit. It's just as dangerous as a real chain, but I have range. And with this range, I can stop anybody at set range. My arm times that. My arm times that. See how I let it all the way go? You guys remember helicopter? If you don't, I just taught you a new game. Understanding the control of your weapon is very important. Now, the reason why I tell you long range is important. Alright, I will be 1,000% honest with you. With long range, it's really good if you're not a good fighter. Alright? If you don't have a lot of fighting experience, long range, how you doing, people? I'm only on for an hour unless something goes right. Like not being able to wave. Anything you miss, you can find a Kung Fu Havoc number 2. So, if you're not a really good fighter, then a long range weapon is best. And the reason why I say that is because, one, I'm short, and two, with this range, I have a fighting chance of stopping you from getting in to my defenses. Understand? Now, being able to control your long-range weapons is very important. Being able to switch hands is also important. From here to here, from here, change the direction, from here. This isn't going to be necessary, but in case you have to, then you switch again. You're not going to use much body parts with long-range weapons. Understand that shit. You have your arm times the distance of your weapon times the person coming in and their striking ability. Now, if they get through this, I'm in trouble. Because as I said at the beginning, it's because I'm not a good fighter. So I use a long-range weapon. So I can still do enough damage. But I need to be able to control when they get in. So if they get past this, I need to be able to recover and keep it short. Understand, you have to understand your weapon. You have to be able to control this son of a bitch at any and every moment in your aspect of life. Hopefully I was still on frame so you can see how I control the stop. Now, also, I'm not real big on weapons. I know y'all see me work them all the time. But to be honest, when the fuck am I going to walk down the street with a bright yellow chain? Never. You know? It's the same thing. I'm not going to walk down the street with the big black stick covered in electro tape. I will be picking that back up for the fun stuff with the bow staff. I mean with the chain. This bow staff, if you guys can see me, that is my distance. This is not a standard bow because it's made out of bamboo. But it is just as dangerous as a regular bow. It's actually my nephew's stick. I gave it to him when we got it out of the woods. But you're never going to be doing this in an actual fight. It's probably going to be more like this and this, thrust, that, but never this shit. You're not going to get the time. You're also not going to do this. Now if you're practicing at home, okay, fine, knock yourself out. But when you get into a real situation, it's going to be strike, 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 strike. It'll be just like working a majestic spear. You're going to need those. You're not going to need this. So understand how that shit works. More than likely, you'll probably swing it this way or that way. You're going to need to know how to stop it. You're going to need to know how to block. Thrust, strike, 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 strike. You need to know that. But you're not going to need to know. This is exercise, y'all. That's all that shit is. No one in their right mind gonna sit there and watch you do that, especially if they have a stick too. But while you're doing this, they're gonna be doing this. So you're gonna need to boom, 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 high, high, low, low, middle, middle, counter. You're gonna need to know that shit. Because if you don't know that shit, you're gonna be down here on this ground, lit the fuck up. Because you thought you could do some Donatello shit from the movies. No one's going to give you that chance. No one. This is good for training. Great if you're going to be in the movies. Not so great if you think you're going to do that shit in the streets. Not so great if you think you're going to stand out here in a fight with 100 people. You better swing, and you better swing for the fences. The fence, blocks, you're going to need those. You're going to need that. You're going to need that. That to build that momentum, but never this. That shit just looks cool. If you're at home, feel free. You can practice that shit. But when you get into a fight, and you both got bow staffs, goom, 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 goom. You guys know this if you've been into the army, because you know, high, low, the pewter sticks. Fagin, you know, I had your ass beat till you hit me in the testes. But anyway, shout out to Fagin from Delta Company. So here and here, those are your strikes. This is also a block, and this is a block. You know, block. You can also put it on this side. Block, block low, block high. This little circle, that's your whole sanctum of blocks. But you're not going to do this to block shit. That's going to get you hurt. And if you're not like super fast with this thing, you're not like Shitara, the only thing this is going to do is windshield wiper block, because if you think this is going to work, somebody times it right, boom, they come through there, your stick wraps around their stick, it flings off into another direction because what? You didn't have grip, and you thought you were doing something, doing this shit. No. See how I got stuck on the grass? That's exactly what's going to happen when you're doing that and somebody sticks their stick in there. And they're going to stick their stick in, boom, they're going to thrust, and you're going to go down. See, the thing about martial arts, you have to understand how fights work in real life, not how they work in the movies. In the movies, the hero always wins. Sometimes the hero takes an ass whooping and comes back for round 2 and then he wins. But either way, at the end of the movie, the hero always wins. And in real life, people don't fight like that. And most fights only last 5 fucking minutes, depending on how good your opponent is. Now, if you're fighting professionally, you know y'all have 3 5-minute rounds. Also, depending on the sport. But in real life, that's just not timed. A fight can win or be lost in the blink of a fucking eye. If your skill set isn't set, you're going to be setting on your ass. Or you can be setting on your back because your ass will be asleep. Now understand, I'm not trying to chunk anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad about this shit right here. I'm just trying to tell you that this training right here is only training for at home. You will not get the chance in real life to do that or this while fighting someone, because that can happen. And you know, when stuff like this happens, you may not get the chance to kick it back up to your feet and continue that whirl. So when you're fighting with the stick, remember this is your central line. Block high, block low. Block low, block low, block high, block high. Left, right, left, right. And usually when you block right high, you'll block left low because that's the way the stick is going to go. If you block left high, you'll block right low because that's the way the stick is going to go naturally. So if you practice this, right turn, or left turn, right turn, understand that this stick part is low. This stick part is high. So if it's a medium block, you're going to block from the high side. Now, if you have to swing it back from the low side, which means you fucked up, I'm sorry, but you did, because if you're striking anywhere here, I need to be able to have enough control with that stick to go high and medium. If I have to go low, it's probably because you either did one of these numbers or you swung from a foot sweep at me and I had to be prepared. So if I block this and block that, so boom, boom, you know, I got a better chance. Or you can always do the smart thing. Get the fuck out the way. So if they're swinging here or swinging here and you block, if you can't do that, then you step back. But you have to understand, my arm times this stick is the distance. Your opponent, if they're taller, their arm times that stick is the distance. And if you can't get away from the distance, you are going to get hit. And it is going to hurt like a motherfucker. So, you know, for those who are following online martial artists, if online martial artists aren't telling you this, you may want to question them, write it down in the comments. Hey, so why did you not tell me what Echo said about blocking and this shit? Alright? Understand, fighting with sticks is not fucking a safe bet. Even when practicing, you can still get hurt. There's a lot of things that can fuck you up practicing without even trying. And you have to understand that when you get into the arena, when you get into the ring, when you get into the gym, when you practice with people. Because if you don't, you will. You're not going to like the way you find out, but you will find out. Getting your knuckles racked by somebody else's stick hurts like shit. Alright? Getting your shin hit or your knees or something with one of these sticks, swinging at little force will hurt. Just imagine when somebody really puts some force behind that shit. So, we're going to move on now to the big stick. As you notice, I haven't done anything super fancy. Now this stick, I'm too tall, well actually I'm not tall enough to whirl this bitch this way. See how it hits the ground? So if I whirl it this way, you know, again, this is training. Because this will build arm strength. Okay? But in a real fight, you're not going to helicopter the shit out of anybody that way. You're going to remember that it's the size of the stick versus the length of your arm, which is your maximum swinging distance. Alright? And this bitch is heavy. So I'm going to have to be really precise with this bitch. If I swing here and you duck, I need to be able to swing back because of the distance. And I need to be able to do it quickly because of the distance. Understand, fighting with long-range weapons, there are some handicaps to long-range weapons. I know. Why didn't I say that at the beginning? Because you have to understand, that was a small staff. That small staff is more nimble, it's more maneuverable. This is a thick staff. It has more weight to it, which is why when you do your training with this and you're pushing up, it's so that you can manifest the ability to deal with the weight. So that if I swing and you duck, I can swing back. So boom, you know, I got to be able to bring it around. This takes more movement to move because of the thickness. So if you're going to fight with a bow staff, you need to understand the thickness of your bow staff has a lot to do with your swing. Alright? You guys can go fact check that because a lot of martial artists aren't telling you that shit either. So I'm going to tell you the truth and you're not going to like it. The truth fucking sucks. I'm sorry. But here's the thing. You've seen how I swung the other staff. You know? Boom. Boom. This is a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of work. You know? So I need to be able to master that shit without so much as being able to get fucked up. So if I swing and I hit you here, I'm not going to be able to bring this up fast enough in some cases. So if I swing and hit you here, it's stuck. So I need to snatch out and pull back. Or I need to just hit you here and then push you off, which would be a lot easier than me trying to boom and then bring it here. It also depends on how many people I'm fighting. Plus, this stick is long as fuck. As you can see, I am only 5'3½". Hopefully I've given you enough light so you can see the stick, but it's also black. So, I'm 5'3½". If I'm fighting you and you get hit right here, my option is I'm gonna have to step in to do that, which will be very effective unless you got the recovery time of Wolverine. Then I got a fucking problem. So my best bet is when I hit you here, slide out, sweep the foot, or hit, and then hit you again. It's a whole lot easier if I hit and you bend over just to lift the stick up, which means I'm going to hit you again. So it would look like I hit you here, and then I put that bitch back up. And that would be your probably more effective strike, unless you are surrounded by more than one person. So I hit this guy coming in, there's a guy behind me, boom, I need to be able to thrust this bitch back, and then thrust back again. And then as you know, I just did this. That's a reflex from training. And in real life, I'm probably not gonna get the chance to do that. So if I strike and I strike, I need to get back into a defending position. So if I'm in this defending position and I do this, I worked up momentum. But if I'm only fighting two people, I may get that, what I just did in, I may get that. So I may get this, I may get it in, I may not. There's always a may not in a fight. You may get something in that looks real cool. You may not. You may want to do one of these. I don't recommend it, but you may want to do it. It did look cool. Let's do it from the side. From here. Now, there's a problem with that. What if your opponent gets out the way and clotheslining you while you're like high dollar pole vaulting and shit? Or better yet, if you're using this as your base to fly, what if he catches your foot? Now you're in the air. Being in the air while you have a long-range weapon is a very bad idea, because anything can happen. Always remember that anything can happen in a fight. Anything and everything. And even though you have a long-range weapon, if you choose to plant the weapon and do some superhero shit, there's a good chance that your superhero days are over. Understand that shit. So keep that shit simple. Boom, 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 boom. You know, or boom, thrust, boom. And see how I dropped that? Now you understand. So, boom, 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 boom. Keeping people at bay with this stick is going to be easy if I keep it simple. It's going to be complex if I start doing this shit. No riding, bringing it back up. Let's say I'm not good. Let's say I suck at the monkey stick, as you just saw. What happens if I drop the monkey stick in mid-battle? What if I can't get to it to kick this bitch back up? You have to ask yourself these questions, because if you don't, you will. And you will find out the hard way of what you're not supposed to do with a long-range weapon. Now I know you're all thinking, but it's a long-range weapon. Yes. And again, I did say at the beginning of this, long-range weapons are for those who don't have a good fighting ability. And the reason why I said that, even people with good fighting ability can still fuck up with a long-range weapon. However, it also depends on who you are fighting. Like I said, if you're fighting somebody who knows more about this stick in your hand than I do, then you got a problem. I would never go one-on-one with Yin Yang Man with the monkey stick. I know he's a fucking decent-ass master of this shit. For those who do not know who Yin Yang Man is, Google him. He was one of the WMAC masters. He's one of the people that got me interested in the monkey stick. So you want to definitely check him out. Shout out to Yin Yang Man. Now, the thing is, with this stick, if I'm going against him, my ass is grass. Period. This man runs up the damn stick, falls down, and does other shit that I'm not able to do. So I don't want to deal with that. You know, I want to keep him at bay, but if he's better with this weapon than I am, he's probably just going to take the shit from me and kick my ass. No one wants that. So again, if you are not a good fighter, you do not want to do too much showing off shit. Keep a motherfucker at bay. Keep him at this end of this stick. Boom, 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 boom. Every time he steps to you, boom. Try to always hit him center mass. You're never going to totally be able to get him in the throat because this bitch is too heavy for that. And they do have real monkey sticks. This is bamboo. This is basically a fucking tree. So this is harder to swing than an actual monkey stick that is thicker but thinner at the same time, or more filed down, built better. This literally is a bamboo, heavily taped and electrical tape so that I don't lose my grip. And it's good for weight training, but I would never take this damn thing into combat. For me to have this thing into combat, I would have actually been having to either be outside in my house training or just walking down the street and motherfuckers jump me. Alright? Now I gotta go into survival mode. And understand that survival mode is your fight, flight, or freeze response. And 9 times out of 10, more people freeze than fight, and more people freeze than run. So that's the thing you have to remember to deal with, because a lot of people will always go around saying, well, if I was in this situation, I would do this and I would do that. No, you won't. You won't know what the hell you're going to do until you're in this situation. So as we're going to bring this to an end, because I have no idea what time it is, I'm going to put this blindfold on and attempt to do some stupid shit with this monkey stick. As always, if you haven't heard me, because I'm pretty sure I didn't say it in the beginning of this video or this live, I'm going to say it now. If you do not have proper martial art training, please do not attempt. If you do have proper martial art training, please do not attempt. And once this blindfold goes on, I'm in pitch blackness. So I have to actually remember where the fuck I actually am before I tie this bitch up. Let me take a step back just to be on the safe side. Okay, so both of the lights are on my left. If I feel it's much darker, then I know I've gone too far to the right. Alright. So I'm not going to do anything fancy just because I can't see shit. And there's a lot of birds and frogs chirping. But understand, this is not something that you should play with. And if you don't have martial art training, it is never a good idea to emulate anything that you see on TV or video. At this time, my ponytail into this damn thing, which kind of sucks. Okay, so again, I'm not going to do anything fancy. I've just turned to my left, which means the camera should be right here. The light should be right here, if my memory serves me correctly. So I won't be doing any crane shit, but I will show you one crane step. You know, so it's basically you tap the back foot. So it's there, and then switch the stick, switch, there. Remember, I just said that this is just for training. You will never get the chance in your life to do that. Block, strike, boom. And I just completely fucked up. I think. Hopefully I'm still facing the camera. Okay. Now you know why you have to be careful when you're practicing your blindfold technique. Again, if you don't have this training, I highly recommend that you do not try it. If you have any martial art training at all, let's call it what it is. It's okay to train at home with this blindfold. But to be honest, it's training. There is probably never going to be a time in your life, whether you're watching me on Instagram right now or you're watching me on YouTube later, that you will be in a situation where you will have to use a blindfold to fight anybody. Unless you and your girlfriend are playing cute pillow fight games. So if you're doing that, that's fine. But if you can hear all the noise around me, the crickets, the frogs, all the other shit, those are distractions. And if you don't know what to listen for, if you actually have to fight with something like this on your eyes, you are going to get fucked up. Alright? I wouldn't be able to hear human breathing with all this noise. Period. I wouldn't be able to hear my own breathing with all this noise. And you have to understand how that shit works. Because in real life, fighting blindfolded is very dangerous, and you will get hurt. And so will whoever you're training with. So if you're going to train blindfold, please do it in the supervision of a sensei and possibly a medical professional. That way nobody fucking dies. Alright, we're going to do the smaller stick. I can do a little bit more with this because it's smaller, it's lighter, and I can show off a little bit. But you should never show off even while training. But y'all know me. I will probably show off anyway. So it is what it is. And again, do not attempt this shit. And yes, if you're going to put a blindfold on, it is very advised that you keep your eyes closed until you take the blindfold off so that you don't irritate your eyes or do damage to your eyes or your retinas or any of that other shit. And it's also, again, important. If you've never trained like this or haven't been trained like this, it is probably not a good idea for you to attempt this shit. So please do not attempt. Now this I can do a little better. It's a smaller stick. I can thrust. I can block. I can strike. I can strike. You can hear it when it whips. You know, I have no idea where I'm facing, so we're gonna turn this way. Birds. Rocks. Crickets. Okay, I hope the camera's right here. If the camera's not here, that means the camera's right there, or right there. Possibly right there. I have no idea where I'm facing. So if I'm not facing you, I am sorry. I'm gonna step this way and pray I'm not too close to the camera. That's not good. Try to find a light. Oh, man, even more lost. Okay, we're just gonna go. Let's strike. I heard noises. Anyway, I clearly wasn't facing y'all. So you see me try to find the stick or the light. Now you understand why training with these things are dangerous. Not this, but this. And how you can severely hurt yourself by accident. So you want to be careful training just due to the fact that anything can go wrong and your day can be fucked up. Like for the rest of your life. So you have to be real careful. Now we're going to do the chain, and then we're going to end with bound fighting. Alright? We are not going to do bound fighting blindfolded, because that's exceptionally dangerous as it is. Now I got to make sure I'm far enough back that the chain doesn't hit anything or anybody at any time. It's easier to find a chain if it's on me versus if it's not. But also with the chain, I have a little bit more things I can do. And again, if you do not have martial art training, this is not the thing that you want to attempt. I beg you not to attempt it if you have martial art training. Just due to the fact that anything can fucking go wrong and somebody can get hurt. Now, if anybody happens to walk in here while I'm actually doing this, that's their fault. They can clearly see that I have a black blindfold over my eyes. Alright? So, knowing the range. Uh-oh. I have no idea where I am. I hope I was on frame. Anyway, that just goes to show you how dangerous that shit actually is. You have to remember that if you're going to train, you want to train responsibly. You want to be aware of everything around you. You want to be aware of everyone around you. Just because shit can go wrong in a heartbeat. It's also why you will never fight like that in your entire fucking life. Outside of a movie scene, everything I showed you tonight, don't attempt. If you're gonna be in a movie scene, get a really good team. A really, really good team. As I dig this wedgie out of my arse. Now, we're gonna do this one more time. Because bound fighting is fun. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. So, again, do not attempt. We're gonna give you your high-low blocks from the front, then we're gonna work from the back and then do the front. Okay? That didn't come out right at all, but deal with it. So, high right, medium with knee, low right. High left, medium with knee, low knee. Now these are the easiest ways because the ropes are in the front. You don't have that option in the back unless you're a fracking contortionist, which I am not. So that's my highest block. If you look at how my arm has to twist all the way up to work with that shit, that is very dangerous. Same with the other side. I am not a very flexible person. So that is why we work with the back first. Because your whole ideology, if your hands are tied behind you, you have one mission, one job, and only one job. Get the fuck out. You do not want to engage, but you have no choice. So you need to be very aware of your surroundings. If your surrounding is on your right, you do not use your left leg to kick your opponent to the right. You use your right leg to kick to the left. Vice versa, if your door is on the left, you use your left leg to kick them to the right to get them out the way. This, if your door is over here, this is a do not. Because now you put him between your door and your exit. Same thing for the other side. So if your door's on the left and he's running right at you, boom! Now he's over there, pop your hips this way and you're gone. Why is that important? That is very important because you might not be a good fighter with your hands tied. And with your hands tied behind your back, your blocking ability might be better than mine, but that does not change the fact that will be extremely limited. Understand that shit. Your blocking ability will be extremely limited. Now, if you're flexible enough to get this bitch all the way up here, good for you. I'm not that flexible. I don't want to be in this situation. So I'm going to do what I just said. My door's not over there. My door is over there. So if he's coming, if the kick that I can get off nails him and hurts him, I'm good. Which I'm praying, boom, that's an outside to inside crescent. He goes over this way, I'm going this way. Why? Because my exit's over there. Now let's say I can't get that outside to inside crescent off, but I can get the inside to outside crescent off. I want him going this way, because my door is over here. So it's going to be boom, and he's going over there. Hopefully I hit him hard enough to at least shake him up enough that he's going to be dazed. While he's dazed, I'm going over here. Understand, you gotta do some damage to this guy. And your chances of doing that with your hands tied behind your back are slim. So if you fuck up, you're gonna have to fight. If the door's over there and I, boom, do that kick, I fucked up. And now I have to engage him because he's between my door and freedom. And I might not be able to take him out now that I done pissed him off. You know, and I can't really block. So we have a problem. Yes, you can do this block. The problem is, might not be able to pull it off in time. That's why you want to make sure your opponent is in the furthest away from your escape as possible. You do not want to do boom. You do not want to do boom. Your balance is off and you're going to get fucked up. As simple as that. No tornado kicks, no jumping spin kicks, no jumping any kind of kicks. Even this jump front kick can be fatal. So if you want to do a front kick, boom, just do a straight front kick or an axe kick or do a side kick. Boom. You want to do something that's going to fucking work. Not something that looks cool because you saw it in the movies. Or because you saw me do it. Now this way, you're good. Because you can still cover up. You can still block. You can still protect. The other way, you can still block and protect if you're flexible enough. But the reality of the fact is that your hands are still tied. And when they're tied behind you, unless you are a contortionist and can bring them some bitches over your head or squeeze through, which my hips don't work for, then you have a problem. And if anybody's not correcting you on that, then you should probably be taught something else by someone else. My hands being tied, being taught how to fight this was a blessing in disguise. So, I would love to make sure you guys understand. It's a blessing in disguise as long as your hands are tied in front of you. When they are tied behind you, you're screwed. Let's not sugarcoat this shit. You're screwed. Yeah, especially if you don't know how to fight at all. You don't know how to fight at all and you're not flexible, you're in trouble. I'm not flexible. So with my hands tied behind me, I'm in deep shit. Alright? And this grass is wet. The fact that I haven't fallen and got fucked up, that's a blessing right there. But you have to understand those things also happen and they can contribute to how you win or lose a fight. Your environment, your situation, you need to take all that shit into account. All of it. High left, medium with knee, low. High right, medium with knee, low. Those are important when your hands can actually defend themselves. Being able to work your hands, block, strike, block, strike. You're going to have to be able to figure out how to work these things together. You're not going to be able to rope-a-dope all the time, especially if the ropes are too tight. If the ropes are so tight that you can't get this much away from you, then you have a problem. Where this is a little bit easier, where I can rope-a-dope. But I got to get to the guy to rope-a-dope. See, you didn't think I was going to leave that off, did you? Just because I can do something doesn't mean I can do it if I can't get to the opponent to do it. Guys coming at me and I block, boom, that's a whole lot safer than block, boom. Now, once you lift your feet off the ground, you are vulnerable. Understand that shit. If you lift one foot off, you're still vulnerable, but you're not as vulnerable if your foot connects. Now, if you don't connect, if you go here and he sweeps low, he's going to take your standing foot from under you. Then you're going to be on your back, where you're really going to have to know how to cover the fuck up. Alright? Learn how to cover up. Learn what you actually can do in a fight versus what you see in the movies and what you think you can do. Because I will be the first one to tell you, a lot of shit you see in the movies, it's just that. It's very well choreographed, it's very good, it looks cool as shit, and it'll have your ass popping out of the seat when you see somebody do some cool ass shit. So if they're doing a butterfly and I got one guy kicking low and I got one guy kicking high and this guy does a butterfly between the two kicks, you're going to be like, damn, I bet he can't do that shit again. Yeah, he can, because they've been working on that shit for months before they filmed it. They filmed all the incidences, everybody gets hurt, all that shit. Now, the question is, height, variable, size, weight, and acrobatic skill. Alright? I no longer have the acrobatic skill to pull a butterfly between two kicks. I can choreograph that shit though. But I need people of equal size and stature for the top kick and the bottom kick to give the guy in the middle just enough range to go over without connecting the guy in the middle. Understand? So if I got a 6'1" guy here sweeping, a 5'5" guy here in the middle, and a 6'1" guy up at the top, and they're doing a foot sweep and a jumping spin kick at the same time, and that guy in the middle does a butterfly kick in between them, that shit's gonna take months of work. I understand that shit. People are gonna get hurt. So we probably wouldn't do that. What we did is break the fight scene into bits and pieces and then cut it together. Have him in the butterfly position, have this guy in the foot sweep position, have him complete the kick, cut. Have the guy over here doing the jumping spin kick. If necessary, green screen the whole goddamn thing. Because CGI is a motherfucker. But you gotta understand that the kicks are real. You need to know when to pull off the kick. You are not going to do this kick with your hands bound because it's going to throw off your balance. I can do that again. Been doing this since I was 12. I know what I'm doing. And even though I know what I'm doing, the possibility of me getting hurt is highly probable. Those are things you have to take into consideration before you do anything. If you do not take the possibility of you getting hurt into consideration, you will find out when you actually get hurt. Somebody missed their mark, you miss your mark, something goes wrong, you get distracted by some chick flashing her boobs to somebody else, you're gonna fucking get hurt. Yes, I said that. I'm not taking that back because if I see boobs, I'm probably going to get my ass whooped. Without question. Worth it, but without question. if I'm in a fight scene and one of my co-workers accidentally have a titty pop out, yep, I saw it. The guys beating my ass might not have saw it. After they helped me up and they asked me what the hell went wrong, well, I'll point out to the co-star, her boob popped out, and I just happened to have my eyes in the right place at the right time. I'm sure she won't be too thrilled about that. I'm sure the director won't be too thrilled about that because they probably broke my nose, and that's going to set the production down. But, you know, it'd be worth it for me because I got to see that boob. But anyway, moving on back to reality. You have to be prepared for what can go wrong in a fight. In real life, in the movies, everywhere. Something can go wrong. A fight can change in the blink of an eye, and if no martial art that you follow has told you that, then I am honored to be the first. Because I can do this all day. Boom, 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 boom. You know, that shit makes me happy. Now all I need is for a guy to be over here and a guy to be over here to make that shit look good. So then we'll have to put some work in to choreograph this fight scene. Now in real life, you have to worry about people hurting you. Coming from the back, boom, boom. Now you got this rope. You can lock it around their neck and pull your knee to them, or you can knock it around their neck and elbow them and put their head on your shoulder, and you can try to choke them with your shoulder. Okay? Yes, it can be done. Can you do it? Probably. Can I do it? Fuck yes. The thing is, though, in real life, we all think we're going to do something until the situation arises. And 9 times out of 10, if you've never been in a fight before, you're not going to do shit. Because everybody says, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Or as JR says from wrestling, everybody got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Or as other people have said, everybody's a badass until they get hit in the mouth. Or until somebody changes the plan. Always remember that a fight can change in the drop of a hat. The blink of an eye, the snap of a finger, a fight can change. And you can be on the losing end just as easy as you can be on the beginning of the winning end. Always remember what moves you're going to have to throw. Do not try to do fancy shit. This shit, boom, that's fine. This shit, not so much. If they duck all of this, or they may even just pick you up and slam you. Knock all the wind out you, and then they're just going to drop their hammer on you. And same thing with the tornado kick. You know, any kick that has you leaving the air for any point of time, or leaving the ground rather, for any point of time, outside of a standard 1 foot leaving, you are in danger of getting your ass kicked. Even with this one front kick, there's a chance that the guy can slide under and scissor kick me and break my leg, trap it. There's a chance that he can slide under, sweep my foot, and then I go on my back because I thought I was doing something cool. You know, keep that shit basic, but also be smart. Because if you're not smart while you're doing basics, you will get fucked up. And you will have a story to tell when you're sitting in the hospital with your arms broken. That being said, I am Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Thank you, Instagram. I'm sorry my waves aren't working. I've been having problems with Instagram. There's one wave, one fucking wave. And I'm sorry, I can't keep doing that, but I will try again next Friday, weather permitting, because I only have 2 weeks until I start school again. So, I'm about to graduate, y'all. 2 more classes, and they're all on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I will be able to do more, and I will be doing monologue Mondays again on my YouTube channel, Kung Fu Havoc #2, so if y'all want to check that out, feel free. That being said, I will be dropping another song in here called Bleed. You're probably going to like it, you're probably not. There's no music, because I don't know how to make music, but I'm also a horrible singer. But I will be dropping it at some point, at some time, and then sometime between tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, I will be making 2 other versions of the songs that I've dropped already, which is Gone, and something else, and something else, and sometimes the superhero needs rescuing or some shit, and Bleed. So I got a lot of work to do this weekend. That being said, I am Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Thank you guys for watching. Be seeing ya. Is it over? How do you end the damn thing? I'm trying to end it. End. There we go. Sorry about that. And thank you guys for watching as well. I will be making one more video after this while I'm here. So, be seeing ya.